All right, boom, baby. There we go.
What'd you do?
Police. I don't know. I was trying. We were sitting there. We were sitting there shooting the shit, and I was like, "Well, we might as well just be on a regular live." So I started to just create one, and then I think when I started to create just like a regular live, it just started bogging everything down.
Like, 'cause next thing you know, you're like, you're just stuck like that. Like, well, he's gone.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that's all right.
They were. I think they're getting ready. They're ready to go. Oh, here goes that horn music again.
I know it's your favorite, Ollie's. You know.
Oh my god! It almost breaks my concentration.
Taco Syndicate, what's up?
Are you a syrup guy? Do you like syrup?
Syrup?
Mm-hmm. Like pancakes and shit?
Yeah, but who doesn't?
This stuff is like sex in your fucking mouth.
Really?
It's a sampler I got from somewhere. It's Stowe.
Yeah.
STOWE.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of that.
They're from Vermont. And I had this in my cabinet forever. And just one day I decided to try it. I'm like, oh my God. That stuff is really good.
Really?
So I ordered 2 pints for $22.
2 pints for $22? Dang.
Shipping and all that, yeah. Is that bad?
No, I enjoy good syrup. I miss when you used to go to the pancake place. I don't remember. So we had one in Oregon. You remember Sherry's, or you know of Sherry's?
Yep, we had Sherry's. Yep.
I used to love that place. And if I remember right, what's up? Hey, Getting Greasy Garage. And we got Taco Syndicate. I'm pretty sure it was them. They used to have like a slew of different syrups and stuff. You'd have like the strawberry, blueberry, whatever. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. Yeah, I used to love them. Yeah. I'm going to pin, if anybody wants to hop in, as long as they're not crazy, hop in. Charlie, what's up, Charlie?
Well, hell, I didn't know you were doing another live. I would have let those guys know. Maybe Mongrels will see it. We're still on.
I sent it to everybody.
Until I bailed out of the other one, I didn't even know you sent it.
Well, Mongrels saw it right now.
Oh.
And I know Brandon saw it. I didn't want to be too pushy since I asked him to do the hour thing, so it's kind of like, hey, if you want people, no worries.
Oh, we're not going no 4 hours tonight. Sorry.
No. I was just, for a little bit, nothing crazy. But what does that say? Who the heck is Mr. Chevy?
Chevy. You don't know who Mr. Heavy Chevy is? You need to find out. Hey, Mr. Heavy Chevy. Look him up on YouTube.
Well, tell us. You got to tell us now. I mean,
you got to watch his channel, and you'll find out who the heck Mr. Chevy is. He's actually pretty cool, dude. No, he's another YouTuber. He's been around. I think he's got videos 10 years deep. He's been on YouTube for at least 10 years or more. Yeah.
Wow.
You can literally watch his kids grow up through YouTube. It's pretty cool.
Really?
He's a car channel. Mostly Chevy guy, obviously. He was one of those guys that did a video or two every week, and he just took on little projects, restoring cars and stuff. I like him. He's a really cool, laid back guy. He's one of my regulars I watch. At my ever long list between you and everybody else is why I never get nothing edited. My Saturday and Sundays are chock full of channels I'd rather watch than mine.
What's up? What the fuck, Mike? Yeah. No, yeah. It's, and that's the thing I said. That's the thing I say all the time. Like, people that don't create YouTube videos don't realize how much goes into like creating the videos plus all the projects you're trying to get done. You know, Mike's chilling.
Well, I haven't seen the reality in that because I keep buying shit like I don't have a YouTube channel. And nothing's getting done.
You're missing out on gold, though. I mean, every time you buy that stuff, you should, you know.
Well, I wish I had a camera in the day when I hauled a lot of this home because it would have been pretty interesting. Especially the birthday party. Huh?
You have your phone on you, though.
Well, yes and no. For a long time, I had a crappy brick phone that didn't do very good camera work. But you missed out on junk vehicles getting dropped off during my kids' 1-year birthday party. And my wife and her face getting beat-ass red and mad. You know, fumes coming off the top as these derelicts are dropping off a piece of shit truck that I lowballed him on so badly I didn't want it. He dropped it off anyways during the party. So, yeah, stuff like that would have been on the camera. But I didn't film anything then.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, how many cars you got going now?
That are going, or
well, how many cars do you have? I guess let's start with that. Maybe that's the easiest one to quantify.
Let's see. I started a list because I can't remember anymore.
Wow, that's the list.
Yeah.
Yay.
And people asked me when I bought them, and I even wrote the years down because I couldn't remember. That's pretty bad.
I put this video up a few minutes ago. Sorry, I'm so no. Feel free, self-promote. Go ahead. Everybody help each other out. I'm all about it. Share away. Yeah, drop your links to all that stuff.
This isn't even the updated list either.
That's not the updated list?
No, my 50's not on here. Let me look over this real quick and update it.
let me make some of these guys moderators here while we're doing that. I'll get you guys some wrenches here so you guys throw your links, whatever you want to do. I'm all about the greater good, so whatever you want to do, throw it out there. I think I got everybody. Everybody should have a wrench that's in the chat now. I got you, Charlie. You should be good now. I believe. Hey, dancing alone with rentals. There we go, brother.
Dancing's in here. Right on, dude.
Wait, so what's your count then, Ollie's? Where are you at?
Hold on. I'm updating. I just remembered another one.
Oh, Taco, you don't got a wrench? Taco, you should have a wrench, bro.
When did I buy that?
On my side, it says you have a wrench. If you don't have a wrench, I don't know, because on this side it shows it. Oh, you don't want a wrench? Oh, okay.
Holy
no problem.
Shit.
You're good.
Wow, I have a few more than I thought.
Yeah, a few more. The fact you have to keep counting, I can tell you. I mean, I've got 4.
Take a guess.
Hold on. Let me take an educated guess because I've seen your videos. I know you've probably got 4 or 5 on one side, 4 or 5 on the other. Maybe
let me put you like this. I just shocked myself.
Wow. Hey, 162 in here. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I kind of shocked myself. What'd you say?
Okay. No, 162 customizing said 21, which, hold on, my guess. So I'm going to guess you have 5 on one side, 5 on the other, roughly, and probably a handful in the garage. So I'm going to guess like 16, which
close.
That's a pretty insane amount still.
You're low, he's a little high.
Yeah. Mongrels. Mongrels come back in. Yeah, hey, Mongrels, get back in here if you want. If not, no worries, but that'd be cool if you did. Wait. You said I'm close? 16?
Both of you. Well, he's a little high. You're a little low.
Okay, hold on. Let me get one more guess. 18.
You nailed it. Now,
Yes.
18 that I have, that doesn't count my boy's Ranger that's still on the property, and then 2 trailers and 2 chassis.
Really?
On a city lot. Yeah, I was thinking like 15 until I actually counted them. Boy, do I have a problem.
Sounds like a good problem to me, but
well, wow.
I mean, as long as you got the space, I mean, hey, that's awesome.
Now I'm at the point where it's like a Rubik's Cube to get something out.
Yeah.
And because I live on kind of a busy street, I don't like leaving anything. First off, my rule number 1 is I don't leave anything in front of the house. Drive by my place. My neighbor's place is a bigger shithole than mine, so they think my house is his house. It's not. All my stuff's in the back. So my rule is I don't leave any of my stuff out front. Maybe 1 car, but it has to look like it drives.
Yeah.
So I got to kind of move things around and play that game to get something out. And it's getting a little old.
Right. Everybody, feel free if you want to drop links or whatever. Go ahead. By all means, knock yourselves out. No worries. Yeah. I only have 4. Okay, let me ask you this though: if you were to get all of your cars caught up to par, where you could drive them on a daily basis or whatever. Yeah. See, Mike says it's not too bad. 18. How long would it take you to get them all up to par? Like how many hours?
I didn't explain what I bought. I only explained that I have 18. Bonus question: how many run? How many came here running? How many run now?
Yeah.
They're going backwards.
Yeah.
If I quit my day job that I started now, I would probably have work to last me until I'm in the dirt.
Really?
Because, remember, there's actually another 8 more I'm a steward of at my dad's place.
Yeah.
We haven't decided what we're going to do with those.
Okay.
So if you throw that in the mix, because I'm kind of actually doing that now. I'm working on some of those there and doing mine here.
Yeah.
I have a problem. Hi, my name is Oli. I have a problem. Oh, and it's hard because I don't know if you guys might do something more fun than I do at night. What I do, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I'm constantly looking at cars to buy. It is an addiction. That's what I do. Most people probably chat with their wives, call a girlfriend or whatever. Nope, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I have no life.
It's addicting looking for cars on there. It's so addicting. What I think is funny is Facebook Marketplace totally took over Craigslist, you know?
I mean, yeah, well, Craigslist was fine, but the problem was you got a lot of the spamming and a lot of the flakes. Of course, Facebook, I think, is even worse because now everyone wants to make deals over the texting and stuff, you know, because you're instant messaging. And I pretty much tell most people, I say, look, when I'm selling something, come here with cash, you'll change my mind. You talk price over text, don't waste my time. You know?
Right.
You want to get it cheap, show up at my doorstep.
Yeah.
Chances are I want it gone. I'll sell it to you cheap. You show up with the green.
Do semis count?
Yes, they do. Because they haul this junk around.
And tractors.
Yep. Tractors count too.
I would say they all count, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I would love to have some more space where I could have another 4 vehicles at least. Well, I'm going to have the LTD come down, that 72 LTD.
Dude, I am excited for that. That's going to be awesome.
I'm really excited too, man. Honestly, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Well, you're gonna get behind the wheel of that thing, and you're gonna drive, especially as big as you are, you're gonna roll that seat back and you're just gonna float down the road in that thing. And you'd be like, Frankenstein, I'm cruising.
Those LTDs are so comfortable though. Like I'm 6'6". Being a bigger guy, those LTDs are sick. It's so much more room.
Well, 72 is like the last good year too, because after that they put that ugly ass guardrail for a bumper on the front and ran it out for the impact rules. So 72 is like the last year of worthiness. You know, there's some guys that like the later years, and you can actually tuck the bumpers and stuff in it and try to knock the ugly off those later ones, and that's cool. You know, if you like those later years, that's great. You know,
I'll show you what it kind of looks like. Let me see.
Mike seems like he's got a small wrecking yard at his place. He says he's in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, we need overhead view, Mike. I want drone shots and then an address, and I'll stop by with cash. Please talk me out of it.
No smog. That's a good point too.
Yes.
No smog.
Yes. 162 is right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull
First
up
bumper ever created.
This is,
yeah. Oh, you mean which brand? Which cars? 5 impact bumper? Oh God.
The ones I didn't really. Not that I'm a Mercedes guy, anyways, but I didn't like when Mercedes started putting those massive things on the front of them too.
Oh.
Where they stuck out so much, you know.
Well, when they started wrapping them in that rubber or the plastic, it was a terrible. It wasn't plastic. It wasn't really rubbery. Urethane. That's what I was trying to think of. The urethane bumpers kind of turned into a mess.
Right. This is what it looks like.
So is the one you're getting a more doors or a 2-door?
It's a more doors. You need 4 doors. Oh, Mongrels!
Party barge.
It might be a bad of a connection because I'm uploading. Limited, but we'll see how it goes.
No problem.
He's actually posting content like I should be doing, but I'm not.
I'm actually sharing a video for someone, so.
Nice, there you go. Hey, might as well.
59 fair. Did you ever find a rear bumper getting greasy? I know you're looking for one.
What was he looking for?
He needs a rear bumper for 59 Fairlane. And it's a 1-year only gig. I know that. Well, I don't know. 58, I don't think is the same. Or is it? Shit, I don't remember.
Worst bumper ever created.
He says no.
He hadn't found one yet?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
I had to cough my head off there. Did you call All American Auto Wrecking? Did he have anything? Vern Toddley? I know I gave you his number at one time. It is 59
Thank
only.
you, Charlie.
Okay.
59 only.
There's a lot of 1-year shit on that car he's doing. I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and Todd didn't have one for you?
There we go.
Oh, shoot, man. Yeah, I don't know who else to call. They're kind of like.
Wait, what are you trying to find?
He needs a rear bumper for a 59 Ford Fairlane.
Rear bumper for a 59 Ford Fairlane.
Yep.
Who do we know that's got a 59 Ford Fairlane?
Well, I bet you that Desert Valley might have one, but shipping would be unreal. Because I know that yard there is huge.
Where's Getting Greasy out of?
He's north of me about, what did we figure? A couple hours? 3 hours?
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the town he told me he was in. Oh, come on, brain. He'll post it up here in a minute, I'm sure. He's not far from me. but I don't. Yeah, other than going out of state. Yeah, 2 hours. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a hard crash.
Yeah, all of a sudden you were just gone. And maybe, oh, there you go. I guess I thought you dropped again.
Yeah, Eatonville. There we go. Eatonville. Yep.
Eatonville? Oh, okay.
Eatonville, Washington.
We're trying to track down a Ford Fairlane rear bumper mongrels.
1959.
59?
I can't picture it off the top of my head.
Let's see what it looks like. Let's Google this thing. 1959.
Guardrail.
Ford Fairlane.
Yeah.
Rear bumper. Let's see. Let's put the old Google machine on here.
I'm trying to think.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
You ain't finding it on there.
Google has everything. Okay.
That'd be funny if you did, though. Oh God.
Is that the bumper right there?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you talking about? Amazon has them. 2 in 1 night? Is this legal? See you, Charlie. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Says, good night, Spider. I'm going to bed. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in.
I'd hate to know what one would want for a re-chromed one because I know they'd need at least a core to send in.
Wait, which one's the right one? This one up here or this one down
here?
No,
that's the crap. Continental kit. No, that's the one up here, up at the top. There's.
Hey, let's ask the man himself.
Here he is.
What's up, brother?
Oh, technical difficulties.
We're trying to find your rear bumper here. Hey, it's only $52,000 on eBay.
The irony, Mike, they might be ugly cars, but I got a buddy too that really likes those things, and I'm not a 59 fan, but a buddy of mine likes those 59s too, and I'm like, are you serious? Did you ride a set of stairs down in your head or something?
Yeah.
But no, people do. Hell, people like 59 Edsel, which I thought was just as ugly too.
Right,
but
right.
Hey, there's cars for everybody.
Hey, at least it's a Ford, you know.
Yeah, being the 1 year wonder they are, it makes it hard getting those parts.
Yeah. Right. Oh, right. Yep. That would be a pain. Guardrail is right. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I described it as being a chunk of guardrail.
I mean, that thing's pretty sick. Here, let me throw this back.
They are cool cars. I mean, if you do set the right wheels on them, give it a proper, I hate using this word, stance. It might call it rake.
Right.
But, yeah, you get it sitting right with the right wheels on it. They're actually not horrible. They look bigger than they actually really are. I mean, they're a big car, don't get me wrong. But they look 3 times as big on any picture.
Which would you rather have, this or the Thunderbird?
Which Thunderbird?
What year?
Yeah, you gotta give me a year.
What year were we on with this one? 59.
Ooh, if you're gonna make me choose between a 59 Thunderbird and the Fairlane, I'm leaving the Fairlane in the driveway. Bird's coming with me.
Yeah, I like those first Thunderbirds a lot better. Yeah, I don't know. What if you match it up to like a 65 versus the 59? I feel like that's more of a matchup. It looks at least.
There were some very nice Fairlanes, like the hardtop convertible Fairlane. That is a sweet car.
Oh, the retractables, right? Is that the one you're talking about? The retractable top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
57, 58, and 59.
You know, I don't know. I think I'd go with the Fairlane in the 59, honestly. Bird was getting kind of big at that time.
Yeah. Well, so is the Fairlane.
Well, yeah, but the Fairlane is supposed to be a big car. You know, the Bird was not originally a big car, and it just kind of ballooned in 59.
Was it?
Right.
It was a 4-seater then too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they did get bigger.
Thunder Chicken.
I don't think they're that ugly.
I honestly, I think I'd have to go with the Fairlane because they just threw every fin they could on that 59 Thunderbird, man. Like,
They got a little
fins
carried
on the
away.
top, fins on the bottom, fins on the side.
Okay.
Well, they wanted it to fly. They wanted it to be fast.
We'll see if my internet's going to cooperate tonight.
All right. There you go. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
And don't tell me it's
pretty
because of the
choppy,
cloud
know.
because I haven't seen one.
Yeah, I can. My internet's screwing up.
We can hear you.
I can even see you.
Yeah, I can see him. I
Okay.
can hear him. Probably just got to turn the resolution down a little.
Oh, yeah. You could change it on the
Okay.
right.
Yeah, no,
That's all right.
particular car. Like
I
that.
can see and hear you if you keep going.
Yeah, you
That
can
better?
drop the resolution down. It should ease
Yeah.
up on the. Yeah,
Okay,
you're coming in okay.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you better now. So,
Awesome.
anyway, yeah, my customer come to me with this car and says, "Hey, I want you to build it," and I said, "Well, mine Fairlane is," and I went and looked at it, and boy, that thing's ugly as sin. But you know, the longer I work on it and doing all the custom stuff I'm doing to it, the car's grown on me. It's it's a 4-door, so it's kind of different anyway. And then putting a 429 in it, and and then all the modifications, fuel injection, 4-wheel disc brakes, on and on and on and on.
Yeah, he's got a channel.
in the spring.
he's
I'm gonna
got a feature
airbag
on
everything for him. So it's complete top to bottom build.
Nice.
And we're 25K just in parts as of this morning. And it's something that he knows he'll never get his money back out of it, but he loves the car, and it's got sentimental meaning to him. So whatever. I build people's dreams,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What engine did you say have in there?
429 Cobra Jet.
Oh, okay. There you go. Nice. Hey, I'd drive it. Why not?
That's a big engine, Bryce.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
It ought to get up and boogie.
Bigger than my engine.
Yeah, he's got an Instagram channel and, of course, the YouTube channel, and he's got the car on there. And then I follow him more on Instagram.
Let me see this thing.
Projection on it. He's the guy's a 30-year-old fella, and he don't know. He's never driven an old car in his life, so I had to clean everything up and modernize it so it wouldn't scare him to death.
That's half the fun of an old car.
That's right. Simplicity.
Like I'm rebuilding the front suspension, putting a Borgeson 14:1 steering ratio power box in it for 4-wheel disc brakes. All the stuff so he won't kill himself or kill somebody else.
That one? There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen examples of people that put all that stuff on cars, and they're still more than capable of killing themselves.
That's it.
Nice. I just threw it up on Instagram if you guys want to see it. Make sure to check out Getting Greasy.
I just got done doing that Borgeson swap on a 55 Fairlane, which is basically should be the same chassis, or pretty close.
How'd you like it?
The way I did it, the only complaint I have is I can feel the feedback from the box because I solid shafted it. I didn't put a coupler in there. I wanted to run the stock column. I wanted it to appear rock stock on the inside and when you open the hood. So it's direct. There's no vibration coupler or anything. That's my only complaint. Other than that, it works beautifully.
I think we lost him.
I can hear everybody okay?
I'm still here.
I'm here.
I don't know who this pirate is over here.
Well, I'm keeping my camera off because I'm uploading files, so I've got very limited internet.
I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it definitely helps.
Otherwise, I'll sound like the speaker coming of a Jack in the Box, right? So.
Oh man, that sounds so good right now.
Oh God!
Jeez.
What were you saying?
What's that?
What were you saying about that steering box?
Because of the way I did it, because I used a stock
What
column.
were you saying about
and
the steering box? Something you didn't like?
I can feel. You can feel it when you turn the wheel, the hydraulics of it, because it's direct straight shaft. There's no coupler. There's no, nothing to take the vibration and any kind of feeling from the box out of it. It's solid shaft. I didn't put a rag joint in it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't.
Right. That's what I was going to do.
It's really you don't notice
maybe
that
I better
much.
put a rag joint in.
If you want any feeling of that box operation to go away, yeah, I would. It's not that bad. I mean, you can barely notice it, but I wanted the appearance.
Well, I'm a car guy and you're a car guy and we can drive something like that. But this kid, this young fella, something like that would bother him.
Rag joint it.
So I'll just go ahead and put a rag joint in it, and then it's not an issue.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad you said something because I'm literally about 2 days away from doing all this.
Oh. Other than that, it was great. I got a GM power steering box for it. I ended up, what did I do? I had the lines made for it. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't run a Camaro V8 pump because of the way the exit come out. It points at a weird angle or it points forward, and then it would make the hose go it didn't fit for shit. So I'm trying to remember what I used an inline 6 power steering pump because the way the return line faced. And you being your Chevy guy, so you might recognize it. I have to get you a picture of it and show you which one I ran. But it fits a lot nicer. Hopefully you heard all that.
Hey, if it says 4 people are watching and there's 4 people in here, does that mean it's us?
I haven't seen the comments move in a bit, so it's quite possible.
Well, did you lose your? Because sometimes you can fall off of Facebook or God.
YouTube.
My mind is shit. YouTube. Thank you, Mongrels. YouTube.
Oh, 162's in here. Okay. I also found out there's a 20-second delay from this to YouTube.
20 second?
Yeah. Actually, it went to 3. So yeah.
I noticed there's a slight delay because I can run both windows at the same time.
It might depend on which device you're on.
I think Mike's lagging pretty good.
If the what's on?
Oh,
Yeah,
we lost
I
Mike.
would say he's definitely letting go. Having some internet issues now. I'm glad they weren't there for the trivia.
Yeah.
Got lucky. Let me pull up the page, Bryce, and see if it comes up. Seems I'm the one with the stronger internet around here tonight. Hey, I've already been warned by Comcast I'm going to use up all my bandwidth. Now it says you're running live.
Okay.
Yeah, you're.
Well, it was probably also a bit confusing that we had the game show and then we cut off and then all of a sudden we're back on again. 6 people watching for yo-yos. There you go. Mike's Mischief's back. There you go, brother.
Now, what was weird, last time we did the game show, I was able to type to the chat people in the game show window.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that tonight. I actually had to go back into YouTube to send messages. What's up with that?
I've never been able to chat in the chat window on here.
The last time we did the game show, I could. It was really weird. I'd never been able to either.
Did you set him up as a moderator or something, Bryce? Maybe?
Oh.
I think I put everybody as a moderator.
No. In StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I was responding to people one night, last night, Russian hackers, on StreamYard. StreamYard had an area where I could type.
Oh, okay. Hey, 152 or Mike, you want to hop in here?
You can respond in the private chat. Like, there's 2 columns there. There's private chat and comments. You go to private chat, you can respond.
Oh, see, I had a box in the comment one too the other night. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, maybe you were set up as a moderator then or something like that.
Is that how I won? Maybe that's how I won.
Well, maybe. I'm good. I got my win tonight.
You guys are tied up now.
We need to get Dark Star in there.
Yeah.
I think you and I should retire. We're tied, so we'll let someone else join in, and maybe we'll come in after and dethrone them once they've become champs.
I like your way of thinking.
There you go.
I was actually thinking one of us needs to be in the back counting these damn boats while he's in here reading comments.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yep. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I'm ADD already. I mean, not literally, but and then I'm trying to go through and catch up with these things. I mean, they stacked up pretty quick,
Oh, I bet.
Well, I don't doubt it. I could see. We can see you going through them. You can see it'll highlight the comment you're on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, us here in the StreamYard. I can see where you're. When you're cursoring down.
And it's funny because I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay. Oh, there he's finally at the top of the screen.
Well, I would have it so I would select the last chat line, and it looked like it wasn't going to move, and then we'd start talking, and I'd go back, and the thing would kick off. And I'm like, crap, where's my last chat, So then I was like trying to fish for the last one, But,
yeah, I got a question for you, Bryce. What engine do you have in Frankie right now?
I've got the 360.
Oh, and here I'm giving the 360 a hard time.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I thought you knew that. I was over here going,
I really, sorry, bud, but I really do not like that engine. But I hope it's running good for you.
Hey, you're not the first person to say it, you know what I mean? So I had it rebuilt. So Sam at Southwest Truck and Diesel in Tucson rebuilt it for me. And so far everything's been great. Hopefully
here's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
When you had that 360 rebuilt, how come you just didn't make it into a 390? You're a crank away. That's the only difference.
Okay. In my defense, so I've always worked on cars and stuff growing up, but there was definitely a gap between my early 20s till, you know, through that phase, you know, because you get your normal car, whatever. So digging back into it, I was kind of green, rusty, whatever. And so a lot of it was kind of just going back through the ropes and relearning everything. And thank you, Puckface. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's been a learning process. You know what I mean? If I would have known that now, then yeah, I would have for sure. But nobody really said that either, and I didn't really think about it. You know.
I'm just curious because while you're in there, that's all you got to change is the crank. The rods are the same, the pistons are different.
Yeah.
But you're buying new pistons anyways. So.
And it was funny because I have a buddy, Sean Rice, and my buddy Sean Rice, it was like the first thing he said to me. He's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Why didn't you just want to get out? And I was like, by that point, I already had the engine back in. I'm like, well, nobody said shit to me before, and I didn't know, to be honest. So, I mean, I probably should have known.
Why should you have known? There's a lot of information out there. It's just my personal experience with that engine is not very good. They were prone to overheating. They were smogger heads, stuff like that. They were troublesome engines, just in my personal opinion. But if it's running good for you, great. Don't mess with it.
And originally I thought it was the 390. I was convinced it was the 390, and then I took it down to Sam. Sam was rebuilding it. And towards the end, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's the 360." And I guess ignorance. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I think I would have punched your builder in the sack because the only difference between a 360 and 390 is the crank. Seriously.
Yeah.
Really?
Every one of my FEs out here is a 360 block. I just yank the crank out and throw it in the trash and get a 390 crank. And they're a dime a dozen because most guys are taking the 390 cranks out and putting either the 410 or stroker or 428 crank in the 390.
Yeah, that 390, like, I don't know what it is, but the 390 just works better than the 360.
It does. It's a miles and miles of difference. Well, for example, when I was years back when I lived in Albuquerque, a buddy of mine had a 67 or 69 F250, and he had a 60 some odd thousand mile 360 in it. And all we did was we pulled the crank, put a 390 crank in it, 390 4-barrel pistons, which brought the compression up to about 9-to-1, added a 4-barrel and a mild, 228 cam. And I'll tell you what, it was a night and day difference.
Yeah, it'll wake
the way that truck performed. I mean, it was night and day. And fuel mileage too went way up.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with the 360, but they got garbage mileage, lack of power.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to beat you up here, Bryce. I really hope that thing's performing well for you, but I strongly recommend, if you ever get the chance, do exactly what Ollie's saying. Like, don't do it just because. If it's running fine and you're having fun with it, just leave it. That's the best. Just enjoy it, right? But if you ever do any more work on it, put that 390 crank in there, and then you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and in the builder's defense, I mean, he probably said stuff that I just didn't retain, because I was new back into it. But hopefully it works good for now.
It's going to keep you out of trouble for a little while.
Yeah, there's that. Yep. 390 would certainly be able to get you in much more trouble.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
which is crazy because I got a 390 in my 56 pickup, and with a C6 behind it, I can get 14 miles a gallon easily on that thing blowing down the freeway at 3,200 RPM. 3,200 RPM.
Really?
It's unbelievable how well that thing runs, and I'm only just barely laying my foot on the accelerator, keeping at that speed. That's doing about 70. So,
dang.
One of my favorite trucks I had was I think it was a 79 Ford half ton, but someone had put a 428 in it. And it only gets better. They put like 411 gears in the back of the thing. Like,
this way. Going that way.
Oh yeah, exactly. It would rip the tires off. But get her out on the highway. It was screaming.
Oh, wow.
Right? But yeah, try to take me in a 60-foot, forget it.
See, I went and bought.
Thank you, Pugface, for sharing it out. We got a couple of people in here from Pugface. That's awesome. Hey, Warlock. Hey, Purple Moon. Sorry, go ahead, Elise.
I'm building a 390, but I bought a 428 crank in it, or bought a 428 crank for it, and that technically makes it a 410. 430 over makes it 416. I'm putting that in my 56 Fairlane that I'm going to eventually build with a 4-speed and 350 rear end gears. So that should be kind of fun.
Nice.
The engine's all there. It's all in a pile, all machined and ready to assemble. I just haven't done it yet because, I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what it is. Actually, you know what? There is one Ford engine that is worse than 360. Which one is it?
That's what you cut out.
302?
Oh, I said there is one that's worse than the 360. Which one is it?
Of the FE group?
Yeah.
I know you want me to say 352, but I'm going to disagree.
No, it's not 352.
Okay, good. It's not that one. I don't know.
It might not be in the FE group.
Okay. So just worst V8 or worst
Yeah,
era?
worst V8. Let's go with worst V8.
Oh, okay. Well, in my opinion, it's the 221.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough. No, I'm talking bigger displacement, though.
Oh, okay. How about that oddball after the 302? What the hell was that stupid cubic inch they did in 82?
I said
255. That 255, that oddball small block. You remember? Is that
not worse?
Worse than that one?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Well, I'd like to know. Yeah.
Well, how many 400s does Ford have?
Oh, you don't like the 400?
I hate the 400.
Oh, mongrels. Let me tell you something. I can show you. A buddy of mine and I put together a 400 that would blow your mind.
Oh.
But you have to get in there and do all the right twists and turns. Because you're
Oh,
right.
good.
In stock form, that 400 is a piece of junk.
Oh, yeah. It is absolute trash.
I'll give you a couple right off the bat. Number one, Cleveland pistons. Run those in the 400M. That'll boost your compression, and I'm trying to think how much we cut off the heads. Just getting the compression out of the freaking gutter was a huge change. We ran a 268 Crowder cam in it, and we put it in a short wide 4-wheel drive Ford pickup. And it really ran really nice.
Until it overheated and warped the cylinder walls.
Nope, never did.
Still never
I
did.
know where you're going though, but you're right. Yeah, those had the crappiest heads on the planet. But if they didn't crack, years after, if they hadn't already been cracked, they were usually a good set.
Yeah.
If they lasted the years.
They got more tempered and they were fine at that point.
Now the 351M, you would have me agreeing with you on the 351M.
Oh, that was
because
great.
I don't know why they created that thing.
I don't know.
That was a piece of garbage because there's nothing. You see, the 400. It's actually not a 400 modified, just a 400.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll have people correcting you all day long if you call it modified, even though it's the same engine. Why they created the 351M and left it in production after they made the 400?
I don't know.
That was junk.
That was complete garbage. It was absolute garbage. You already had the Windsor, you already had the Cleveland. What did you need the M for?
You didn't. That was you know what? You had me on that one right there. That is the worst. Next to the 255 is not the worst freaking V8 they made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the best one is probably the 302. Like, that was a stout little engine, man.
Yep.
And it's right up there with the Chevy 350 in my books. Like,
to blow your mind, which I know most people call me a liar, but I have a 289 in my Mustang 2 with a tunnel ram on it. The bottom end of that thing is stock. And everything you've done, I did do it. You're not supposed to do because I was poor, 21, whatever. I can run that thing up to 7,500 RPM with stock rod bolt, stock crank, and stock rods.
Wow.
And it takes it. I haven't thrown a rod yet.
You got hydraulic lifters in there?
Yes.
Really?
I'm running it's an Urson 502, which used to be Edelbrock Performer RPM, and I went to the Urson 502 lift, which is on a 234 duration. It's healthy.
Yeah.
I think 234 at 50, so that makes it a 296 advertised, I guess. Everyone's advertised is different. They measure them at different openings. Yeah, it's rowdy for a small block.
Oh yeah, the 289 was a great engine.
Loves to rev, boy, and the 302 does too.
Yeah, you can get the 302s revving pretty good. And
But
like that 306 I built for that 67 Mustang, that is a rowdy engine. Like that thing is, and I haven't wound it out yet. We haven't done the dyno yet, but once the transmission's getting rebuilt, then we're going to throw it back in. Then we're going to take it to the dyno and re-dyno it and see what it put out. Because we dynoed that 289, and now we're going to dyno that 306 and see how close we get to the 400 mark.
Now, the 302 you built, is that on the early or late style block? Internal, external?
It's rollerized, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
think that makes it just that much better being a roller block.
Oh, absolutely. Like
for reliability.
We put the AFR enforcer heads on it, and then put a nice cam in it. I can't remember the exact specs on it right now. And then, like, I ring gapped all the pistons by hand, put it all together, and then we drove it 4,000 miles to break it in.
Hey, it worked perfectly, didn't it, for break-in?
The one thing I will recommend, if you ever use this, the AFR heads are fantastic. They really are. But take the 3/8 rocker studs out, throw them in the garbage, go get the 7/16 and set it up that way. Because I guarantee you'll snap a rocker stud eventually.
What's up, son and fun? What's up?
You wanna hear something funny? You talking rocker studs?
Yeah.
Before the set of heads that were on that Mustang I was just talking about, the 289, I have a set of later or like 66 289 heads on it now with larger studs. Before, I was running that same valve train on what year was it? 74 heads. So it had the nut torques to yield.
Right.
So they're not adjustable.
Right.
I was running the same spring pressures, cam, lifters, the whole 9 yards. I used these comp cams, nuts that turn those torque to yields to an actual adjustable. So I was basically running this entire valve train on 5/16 studs.
Ooh, that's brave.
I never lost one.
Really?
I don't know how, but I never lost one.
Wow.
I should have shot him through the hood, but I never did.
You know, the ironic thing about that build was we literally broke the engine in on that drive down to Arkansas. And we got back, and I did a little short on this, but we got back, he put it in the garage. I think a day or two later, he took it out to drive out to the house, which was where they were building their new house, about 10 minutes away, and it snapped the rocker stud on that drive.
Oh, that was the 3/8 stud?
Yes, 3/8 studs in there.
Thanks. What's up, Skywatcher Steven? Thank you.
But I totally agree with you on the insurance of having the 7/16 studs in there.
Oh, I'll never do it again. That's the first thing I'm going to do is unless I'm stuck or something, because then you have to go buy all new rockers, push rods. Push rods you might get away with, but you got to buy all new rockers all over again because you've already bought the stuff for the 3/8. That's a fair bit of money you're putting out.
Yes. Well, and also you being a roller cam, your spring pressures are even taller than what I've been using on my flat tap and stuff.
Yep.
So
that's probably why you got away with the smaller studs before. But yeah, as soon as you get rollerized, go to the 7/16. Get the undressed head to get them so that they've got the valve springs, the good valves and the springs in there. But just buy them without the studs because it's not worth the extra money.
Is there a brand you prefer?
Oh, well, ARP, of course.
ARP?
Yeah.
That's usually what I end up buying, but lately it's sometimes hard getting stuff. You know,
It has been.
Get what you can get lately type thing, but I don't have anything that's actually roller cam, so I need to. That's an alleyway I haven't traveled down yet.
So, okay, I've thought of a new build. I think we're gonna have to go down, visit Bryce, and put an LS in the stuff for him.
Oh man, come on!
Oh no, fighting words. An LS and Frankenstein.
Oh,
No,
let's put a Hemi in it, Bryce. Put a modern Hemi in that. We'll get Frankie really turned into Frankenstein.
That's cold, man. Come on.
You can't have it all for it. It's Frankenstein. You got to mix and match, buddy.
I would be down to do that to something else potentially, but not Frankie.
As much as I can't stand Cummins 12 valves, that's probably what should go in Frankenstein, just to make him more Frankenstein.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a Cummins lover, but it just, for that type of build, it just screams, put a dirty Cummins in it. You know?
Yeah, I'm not a diesel guy at all, but that would make Frankie all the more Frankenstein for sure.
Do a 4x4 conversion. I definitely need to do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys are making me change the way I think here.
Frankie's a solid truck. I love.
We made fun of his 360. We told him he needs to put a diesel in it.
You guys are great friends. Let me tell you.
Now it needs to be 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Well, the 4-wheel drive's cool.
I don't think it would be that hard.
I don't think so.
I think you made a fish.
I mean, you're talking a transmission, transfer case, and a front axle.
Right. You got to cut that gigantic cross member out of the front for one. That would have to come out, or you have to cut the frame and sub on the 4-wheel drive one. One or the other. Either remove the cross member or sub it.
I can't remember the 4-wheel drive setup on those things. Did they use the
straight axle?
It's a straight axle, but what do they use for springs? Was it torsion bars or was it coils?
No, they were leaves.
Yeah,
leaves.
Oh wait, well, let me correct myself. The F-150s, the half tons were coils,
right?
But the 3/4 and 1 tons were leaves, I believe.
You talk them into it, yeah. Okay. Let's see what we can do, Taco.
Yeah, I don't know, Taco.
You know what? We'll just take a GM front suspension with the independent suspension because they were so good, and we'll put that in there.
What? What?
Thank you, 162. Appreciate you coming in.
Hey, thanks, 162.
We'll grab it right up
that's a good channel. That's a good dude. If you guys aren't watching him, 162, make sure to check him out.
Yeah. We'll grab it right up a 2001 Yukon or something like that.
Oh, no, not that garbage. No.
The Yukon.
You know he's doing this to me on purpose because I've done a lift on one of those trucks, and the first thing you do is you go up 4 inches and you carry a pile of CV axles with you. That's all it does is ejects the fucking front wheel drive axles. Those are terrible front ends. Oh god,
yeah, they were pretty awful.
You know what it is? It's because he beat you in the competition today, so now he's fired up. You know?
Oh, yeah? Is that what it is?
It's all right. I can't wear the crown all the time. Gotta share. Sharing's caring, right?
Yeah. Just trying to keep you in the conversation, Bryce. If I talk trash, you'll definitely respond. Otherwise, you get distracted by comments.
I love trash talking. I have to be careful because sometimes I'll do that to some of my friends. I'm like, oh wait, I hope they know I'm joking. But yeah,
see, Taco knows where it's at. Straight axle Ford fronts, man, hard to beat.
Oh, they're pretty indestructible, no doubt. They don't ride with a hoop, but good luck breaking them.
Just get it pointed the kind of similar direction you need to go.
Fine. Hey, as long as it's not electric, anything not electric is all right in my book.
I don't know, those new electric power steering, it's pretty sweet, man. You don't have that parasitic drag on the engine, so you get the extra ponies out of it.
I just walked you into that one.
I think
you don't like electric. Get out of here.
You
Do
know
you
the
actually
new
like electric mongrels?
Yeah, he does. He's got one.
What's that?
Do you really?
What were we talking about? I missed that last comment.
Oh, I was
Electric car.
asking. What's up, Shop Cat? I was asking if you actually liked electric or if you're just messing around.
No, I don't like electric. Well, I do. Okay, I do not like electric, but I like that the performance you can get out of an electric, but I don't like the concept behind an electric, because you don't want to get me going on this. This will be an all.
What's up, Stephanie? Hey, Mr. Pug's pretty awesome. I have seen at least 3 or 4 people from Mr. Pug that message over, so that's pretty cool. No, awesome. You know what? And honestly, the only reason I started getting hard-headed with electric was because they started passing rules saying you can only have electric. That's when I get a little foolish with it.
It's one of the big problems I have with them is that they're pushing it, and they're pushing it based off of false narratives.
Hey, Peter.
That's the problem I have with electric. Now, you want to go out and buy an electric car just because you like to have a cool toy and you want to slaughter some vehicles at the drag strip. Fill your boots, man. It's all the power to you. But if you're going to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm trying to save the environment," get out of here.
Right.
Just go away.
You know, it's funny. For the last 20 years, electric cars and drag racing have been together for that long.
Yeah.
We here I'm forgetting our own damn drag strip name. Oh. Anyways, our local drag strip has been hosting an electric car drags for the last 15 years.
What's up, CP?
It's been a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no doubt the performance off the line on those things, the instant torque, like, it's pretty hard to beat, man. But practicality, it's really easy to beat.
Yeah.
Here, tow this.
Yeah, exactly. Better yet.
I thought it was cool when they first started doing some electric stuff. It's like, oh, let's try throwing this electric engine in an old thing or whatever. That was cool. But then once you start saying, oh, you have to buy electric, or oh, it's better for the environment, or that's where I started getting annoyed with it. Critical flaw, what's that? Man,
yeah, well, you're right. But the other thing about it is, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Ollie. It's like, yeah, take your camper, go out to the remote wilderness, see how that works out for you.
Bring a generator.
Yeah. And lots of diesel or gas.
Fill her up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take this back. We're going to circle back. Electric steering. It's a good idea. I like it. My only downside to having the electric steering is that you can never put it in a place to make it look aesthetically appeasing. You know what I mean? You can never hide that unit anywhere and make it look good.
I don't know. Like, I mean, the 2014 Ram Sport I had electric steering on it, and you never really noticed it.
It was designed around, I'm thinking, okay, let me rephrase that. When I want to try to retrofit it to my old junk.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I ran into one guy. I went over to Portland to buy some parts from him for my 56. He managed to take an electronic steering box out of a Prius. And he, of course, he's sitting here telling me, oh, it's easy to do. And I'm listening to how he's doing it. This fucking guy's got a machine shop in his backyard. So that's how he made it fit. And I'm going, I don't have a machine shop, dude. So he machined it in there, and he set it up as a tilt column. And I mean, you can tell the unit's there. If you lean over and look under the dash a little bit, you can see it, but it's been the cleanest electronic steering I've seen in an older car ever. Most of the time, they stick out like a sore thumb and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
So I think the day is coming where they may actually start getting to be a little popular.
Well, you know, I liked it. And to be fair, the Dodge Ram didn't have electric steering exactly. What it had was like electric power steering. So you still had a physical coupling to the steering, which is what I prefer. I like to have that physical connection. And then it had an actuator, an electric actuator for assisting the steering.
Grizz.
I've also seen some that had an electric ran pump separate from the engine, running the hydraulic steering.
Yeah, there's many different ways to do it. I mean, that being said, I mean, there's lots of stuff out there that has no physical connection to steering. Like you look at the old military trucks with the
Ring, what's up?
I can't remember the axles into it. It was all hydraulic, right? It's all hydraulic steering. There's no actual.
Oh, I know which axles you're talking about. Yeah. Yep.
The Rockwell.
Rockwell.
Yep. Yeah. And that's all hydraulic steering, right? And when you look at some of the airplanes, there's like Airbus, there's no physical connection to the controls. It's all fly-by-wire.
Boy, that's scary. That is a little scary.
Yeah, it is kind of, but I mean, it works. It's worked well for many, many years. So
I'm an old C-130 wrench, and everything was cable connected, buddy.
Well, and so Boeing is still very much that way. Boeing prefers their cable connections, right? But hey, I'm kind of a little old school. I like having that physical connection.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, I like to still be able to muscle through it.
The feeling. I like the feeling of it.
Yeah, and the feeling, yeah.
Everybody check out Pugface. He's the man.
Pugface.
Sorry, I'm assuming you. Sorry.
Like, my biggest complaint was when the throttle started going electronic, because I'm used to feeling the linkage and the carburetor and all. Even the throttle bodies that still were cable controlled, you could feel something. Yeah. Once it went to wire, I'd never liked the feeling of that. You push the pedal, the damn thing should go instantly, and it doesn't.
It doesn't, no. That's one of the biggest complaints I have about my Charger is it's inconsistent as to when that thing goes. Like, there's sometimes you hit the pedal and you're like, 1,000, 2, 1,000, oh, there it goes. You know, and there's other times you hit the pedal and it's instantaneous. It's really weird.
I'll drive my dad, he bought a 2019 EcoBoost V6 pickup. He passed away a couple years ago, but I got to drive it a couple times. And it was so weird, the delay. And then I'd hop into my 78 460 truck and hit the pedal, and I'm gone right away. You know, it's like night and day. It's a weird feeling to me. I don't know. It's odd.
That being said, I didn't notice as much on that newer Mustang. It was very responsive.
Somebody told me you could tune it out. I don't know.
Oh, it's possible.
The computer stuff kind of dumbfounds me.
I like the computer. You see, I'm a big fan of overdrive transmissions and fuel injection, and I'm not a big fan of how locked out everything's getting, though. How integrated everything is. Like, your rear hatch module goes on your SUV and it shuts the whole vehicle down. I don't like that. That's not cool.
Yeah, is that the dealers getting control of them? Is that what it is?
I don't know why. I'm sure it has something to do with that, but every module has to be coded to each other module, and if it's not, your vehicle's locked out. Like that's just kind of. So I kind of have my line that I draw in the sand, I guess, where I like the newer vehicles, but not too new. So kind of mid to late 2000s. And then after that, I kind of that's when I started.
That's kind of where I'm at, too. I got an 03. That's my daily. And that's about as new as I can stand to work on. And it gets really difficult after that.
Yeah, I like the newer Rams. A lot of them are very good vehicles, but I can work on stuff past 2011,
Destroyer,
but I don't like to.
What's up, Destroyer?
Oh, hey, there's the man.
Hey,
Destroyer, hop in here.
Because the LS is a wonderful engine. I like it. Awesome. The Coyote 5.0, great engine, lots of power. But I'm a huge fan of that newer Hemi. Like, I don't know what it is. I just like that. Just makes sense to me.
Well, I'll tell you, it sure as hell is popular. Boy, it's how many Hellcats and Chargers and stuff running around out there with them things. Yeah, they're quite a movement.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Ford screwed up. I mean, with the 5.0, they're trying to recover, but I don't think they made it user friendly enough.
No, they didn't. They certainly, like, you look at the cam setup on that thing, and it's like you need an engineering degree to figure out the timing chains and everything on it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whereas the Hemi and the LS, that's what I appreciate. They're still very simple pushrod engines that perform very well and are very economical.
Doesn't Mopar have a harness that makes it so you can swap it into an early car without too much trouble?
Yeah, but it's expensive.
Well, it's available though.
It is available. You can go buy the Mopar crate stuff.
I don't think Ford had one for any of their mod stuff for quite a while. That was another problem I noticed.
And then there's a lot of other there's some guys out there now that make harnesses and everything else for that stuff. So you can just go,
right.
And not to mention you got like Holly Terminator that'll run it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep.
Destroyer, I am dead set on proving that wrong. I feel that everyone. I mean, it's easy to do that with a Mopar, no doubt, but I think you can actually do it economically too.
You think so?
I know so.
Destroyer says do it.
I am doing it. Like that Hemi swap, I got running on, like, I built the run stand, bought the engine, the computer, programmed it, set it all up to run on the stand for $1,000.
Dang.
So if you're willing to put the time and work with the factory stuff, you can do it fairly inexpensive. Like I know it's a little different in the States, but I can still go to the local pick and pull. I can pull a Hemi engine out of a wrecked truck for like $200, $300 Canadian.
We've got a few laying around here. Yeah.
It's a little harder to get the newer stuff, 2009 and up, but those are the ones I prefer. But what I've done with those is I just go buy the core engines. A lot of the accessories and stuff are destroyed, but the actual core engine is fine. So I can get those for a few under $1,000, and I've got a lot of the accessories myself, so I can just put it together.
If I remember, didn't the first generation Hemis, didn't like half the damn car it was attached to have to come with it when you swap the engine?
That was the feeling, but that's not in. That's why I did that. That's why I started my channel, is to prove that wrong. And I did, because no, you don't.
Thank you, Barry.
You don't have to take half the dang car.
I just remember way back when the Hemi came out.
You're right.
A lot of guys doing that. Yeah.
That was the easy way to do it because they hadn't cracked into the PCMs and stuff yet. But nowadays, I can go into HP tuners and anything from 2005 to 2011 is actually relatively easy to go in and program all that stuff out. And you get that thing to run independent.
I know the LS out of the gates was like that. And I think that's what made them the hot ticket as quick as they became,
Well, the big thing with the LS is they had a static security number or static security code, so it didn't really change, and so that was the easy thing with the LS which was easy. But the Hemis and the Dodge PCMs, they had a rolling number, kind of like kind of like your video games and stuff. So they were paired to each other, and it's looking for, hey, you should have this number. I have that number. Okay, you're good to go. And then next time you start it up, it's like, okay, I'm on this number. Which number you have? Okay, we're good to go. So the skim was a lot different for the Dodge than it was for the GM. GM had bats, Dodge had skim, Ford had Well, Ford had Ford stuff.
Yeah, I know it. It's a planet of its own.
Yeah, it's.
I stayed away from it. Even though I'm a Ford guy, I didn't want to get involved in it.
But the Hemi computer, the PCM, is a little trickier yet because there's other stuff that'll shut you down besides just the security. And that was the bigger learning curve. Because, for example, what I ran into is the Hemi PCM has a start function in it. And if you can have it programmed so that it'll only start through the PCM. So if you do a separate wiring for your starter, your relay and everything, you'll get the engine to crank over, but it'll never fire up.
Oh.
Unless you tell the PCM, don't look for the start signal. And then you'll be able, and then you have to know exactly how to turn that part off. And that's what bit me when I first tried getting it to run on the stand.
So what is the point for it to actually have to look for a start signal? Is it?
It's basically make sure it doesn't crash engage the starter. It wants to make sure you don't. Yeah, it's just starter protection, more or less. Or if there's something else wrong, then it's just to protect the system, basically.
Hey, you can still do that on a Ford.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
Oh, I've confused that PCM on my Charger once in a while. Sometimes I get a little twitch in my finger and I double tap the start, and I go to shut the car off, and I just really quickly tap, and then that really confuses it. The car doesn't know whether to start, or whether it should run, or shut itself, and it'll sit there and and I was like, "Well, what do I do?" And I have to shut it off again. I hate that stupid button sometimes. And then Destroyer, he knows all about the new cars and how easy they are to steal again. They kind of went backwards, at least in the kind of the 80s, 90s, stuff like that. Your key would actually lock your steering column. But since everything's got key fobs now, your steering column no longer locks. So it's very easy to go through a vehicle in neutral and push it away.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. That's right. Yeah, my 03, I think it still locks. Plus, the way the chip is in the key, the truck won't start unless you use the key.
Well, and that, to me, was
like a dummy.
That was kind of the pinnacle of the system, is that, you had to put the key in there to unlock the steering wheel, but it also had the chip in the key for the security system. It worked well, right? But now everything's a key fob now, and none of the steering wheels lock anymore, which is, and none of the gear shift. Well, the gear shift kind of locks, but there's always an override.
Like you push the brake and it'll unlock it or something like that.
No, not without the key, not without power, right? But there, often in the newer cars, there's a little cover you can take off someplace, and you either manually pull it into neutral, or you can push a tent down and then pull the selector into neutral. So as long as you know where that is, it's very easy to get the transmission in neutral.
I never thought about the column locking.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
Huh.
I just jump in all the work trucks. I don't even think about it. You're right. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. No wonder so many people steal the shit.
It's like Ford, like Bryce. This is an attack on you, but the old Ford trucks and cars were like the easiest things in the world to steal. Because first of all, you had no interior hood latch, no lock. You just walk. Right. You go up, pop the hood, run a hot wire from the battery to the coil, and then jump the starter solenoid. And there was no locking steering column because the key went into the dash. Off you go. You got yourself a Ford. And the starter solenoid's right there on the top, right in the fender, right?
Yep.
So they were really, really simple. That's why you always hear Derek refer to it as the steal me junction.
And you know what's funny? No one's ever thought about making some kind of a sealed lid for that thing. You know what I mean? Because if you could seal that starter relay from anyone being able to stick something in there, it wouldn't really be that easy to steal.
Well, that's true, but you know what I used to do? I just took my coil wire.
Like the one I have sitting on my counter because my truck's out front right now. My 78 sitting out front of the house. Coil wire's right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You just pop the coil wire off. No, I mean, so if they have a spare wire, I suppose they can pop it on there and away they go. But chances of that are pretty slim.
Well, as long as it's been sitting there, it's gonna be sawing on the starter, getting fuel up to it. So they've got a little while to be cranking on to drive it off.
Well, and then you also you can put stuff in there like a kill switch or something. You can hide a kill switch in an older vehicle so that it just won't run no matter how much they want to jump that thing.
Yeah, I hate doing that sometimes because it does get into the original wiring, but
yeah,
it's getting to the point where even the original wiring's getting a little shady.
Yep. So my answer to all this is I just don't drive Fords.
Ow.
I feel like I need a bulletproof vest being on this line. Oh, the shots being fired, man. Come on.
I hadn't had one for a while, right? So,
the keys, they did have several different keys. CPU was right in there.
Yeah.
The freaking Super Duties was the worst. Like, would they make 7 different blanks and start every single Super Duty ever made? That was the dumbest thing Ford ever did.
Yes, indeed. I remember that. GM wasn't much better. They only had a few different keys. I often would go try a different GM key in a different vehicle and it would fire up too.
Well, I live out here on the theft coast. So pretty much, oh, dude, liberal wonderland. But anyways, they let all the criminals run wild. So anyone who owns a Super Duty, the original Super Duty models, what was that, 96 to the first generation, they're basically chaining them things down or backing rigs into them because they're getting stolen left and right by the second because of that stupid key thing. You get 7 different keys and you can start every Super Duty in the city, at least in that first gen year range. That's pretty bad. And the sad thing is that was the year of the 7.3 diesel and stuff, and those were great trucks. They're sought after just because they're a really great truck, but then the freaking thieves are stealing them left and right because they're easy to steal. Yeah,
I'll tell you, that Power Stroke was an impressive engine. First time I ever drove one of those things, like, whoa. Yeah, this thing's got some punch to it.
I think a friend of mine, he's got an 02. Is it 02? No, it might be older than that. Anyways, he's got the 5-speed behind his. Plus, he's got the bully dog and all that crap on it. And it pulls like a freight train loaded.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe how much power that thing makes.
Yep.
They're nice trucks.
As long as it doesn't pull the rad into the fan and start on fire and stuff, you'll be fine.
I don't think he's gotten that far yet.
I think the steering columns caught on fire on those ones, didn't they?
They were junky. I know that. They wore out fast. The shifters were really bad, too, for the automatics. They'd literally fall apart.
So, Bryce, I know I give you a hard time, buddy, but the simple fact of the matter, they all have their issues.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everything's got its set of issues, for sure. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy giving each other shit.
Well,
yeah, I'll agree with Taco there, except once you go through, change the studs and everything in that 6.0 and fix those bad things about the 6-liter, it's actually a solid engine after that. It's just getting through the head studs and all the other garbage you got to do.
Yeah. Well,
you got another one there, Olis.
Right on. Thanks, man.
So, Bryce, here's a free one for you. Whenever I start trash talking you, all you have to say to me is camshaft.
Camshaft?
Yeah.
I will. I'll just say, hey, camshaft, okay?
Yep. That's all you have to say. All right, okay, fine. You got me. The Hemis eat camshafts.
Yeah, but didn't they discover all what they did wrong with that? Didn't they figure that out?
No.
Really? They're
No,
still
they-
chewing freaking
Oh,
followers?
yeah, they still. Well, no, not the. They chew the camshaft.
Or I meant the roller lifter, though, wasn't the problem, but it's the cam itself.
Well, the interesting thing, and I did a recent video on this, is I pulled a 2500 engine apart, and number one, those things don't have the MDS system. They don't shut down the cylinder, so they don't have those lifters in them. So it's all standard lifters.
Oh.
And I pulled all the lifters out, and the lifters were good. But I looked at the camshaft, and it was all pitted, and you could see the hardening coming out of it. So the cam was actually failing. So the heat treating on the cam, I think, is part of the problem. But what really kills those things, and I know what does sound, it's idling. Just don't idle it. It's the oil pressure, and the 03 to 08 engine did not eat camshafts. They dropped valve seats, but they didn't eat camshafts. So it's the 09 and up that eat camshafts, and that's when they put the VVT and stuff on them. So I think it has something to do with the VVT system, honestly.
Now, I'm not naming names, but another channel come out and said it was the way the oil was splashing on the cam.
No, don't agree with that theory.
I didn't think so either.
I
I didn't think Mopar's designers were that stupid. But
well, I'm not saying it may or may not be a contributing factor, but the big thing is when they put that VVT system, if you look at the front of that camshaft on a VVT, it's a large chunk of metal on that thing, man. Like that's a lot of surface area to push the oil through all those passages. So I think when they did that, it kind of dropped down the oil pressure on top there. And that's why the newer engines suffer more than the older ones. So, and if you watch a fellow Reignited Cycle anyways, Cycle and Automotive, I can't remember the full name, but I just call him Reignited. He's got a good theory, and what he was doing is he put the Hellcat oil pumps on the 5.7 and 6.4 and stuff like that, and it kicked up the idle oil pressure, and I really think that'll probably help resolve the issue a lot. But the big thing is just don't idle those things a lot, because it's
you do realize a lot of those are cop cars, right?
Yeah, there's the problem right
idle
there.
time.
Fleet trucks, cop cars, stuff, and they have very high idle times, and that's when the oil pressure is the lowest. That's when you're not oiling the top end. And that's what I think is eating these things up.
Well, and you're right with the cam hardness thing. Even on the aftermarket cams, I don't know what's going on there either, because there's a rash of those things still failing.
Yeah, they can't seem to get it right. And that's why I think some of these have issues and some of them don't. Like when you look at the actual failure rate on these things, you look at how many millions of these engines are out there. It's not that high of a percentage that failed. Yeah, we're just talking the modern Hemi engine is going to heaven.
Those 4.6s, Chris, those things are pretty indestructible. I mean, they're not powerhouses, but they're pretty indestructible.
Well, are we talking the 2-valve or the 3-valve?
I'm talking the 2-valve.
Okay, yeah, those ones are. The
3-valve's a piece of shit.
Yeah. You can count the dents from the underside of your hood where it launched the coil packs into it.
Who designs threads, this much threads to hold a spark plug? I mean, what rocket scientist did that?
Well, and in an aluminum head. That's the real kicker. Is like, why wouldn't you just put a Healy coil in there? You know,
or steel insert, or why don't you cast it thicker?
Something.
You know,
but you got 2 threads in an aluminum head. That's not going to hold that spark plug in there.
That engineer had to have been on his way out or pissed off at Ford or something. I don't know.
Well,
that was a bad design.
Well, did you know that Ford offers bonuses based on changes? So the engineering departments if like I heard this rumor anyways that the engineering behind them, if you implement a change, you get an engineering bonus.
Really?
And that's to encourage change, development, etc. However, when you take into account that the wheel guys are sitting there and they haven't changed the bolt pattern or anything on the wheels for however how many years, they're not getting their bonuses. They say, screw this, we want our bonus. So in the 2000s, early 2000s, they're like, hey, let's change the bolt pattern on the wheels, and there we go, we get our engineering bonus.
Yeah, I own one of those trucks, and it pisses me off.
Well, now you know why they did it.
97 to 03, it's 5. It looks like a 5 on 5.5. It is not.
Nope.
It's some metric equivalent piece of garbage. And if you had the heavy half, then you ended up with that 7-bolt circle piece of junk.
Yeah.
That was the most ignorant freaking idea Ford ever put out. And I'm a Ford guy, and I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Hopefully he got his bonus.
Well, he got his bonus, though, because they implemented the change.
Yeah, right, CP? That's right. Go slip. Oh, God. Yeah.
Sometimes, change just for the sake of change is not a good thing.
Well, and when I bought the truck, I thought, oh yeah, it's 5 on 5.5 like the old stuff, no problem, because I have these 22-inch donk wheels on it. I'm not real. It looks okay. It's not really my thing, but I'm stuck with it now because I can't find anything in that crazy oddball. What is it? 117.752 freaking pattern it is. I can't find anything because they, at the time the truck was new, yeah, there was all kinds of companies making wheels, but then poof, they disappeared because then Ford went 6-lug.
Yep. and the engineer got their bonus, and the engineers got their bonus again.
Oh man, God.
Well, like I said, they all have their issues. Like you look at the early LSs with the active fuel management on them. They didn't design the manifold correct. The delivery tubes are too small. The oil screen for the oil sensors doesn't have, and then you'd always end up collapsing lifters because it would cut off oil to the lifter. So the early LSs, they had their issues too, right? They would crack heads depending on where they were made and stuff like that. So they all have their issues.
Well, Ford's biggest issues are always choking off the exhaust side of the engine. Yeah. Always. Every design. I mean, if you think about it, this overhead cam, the modern, what do I call it? The Triton? What do you call this? The Coyote? What platform?
Yeah, the Coyote.
The modular engine.
Okay, the modular engine, yeah.
Dual red cam. Anyways, they've shown it because way back in the Camry days, that thing was a powerhouse. So why isn't this new modern one doing those same kind of numbers? I mean, where's Ford choking this thing off at? And you go back and look, it's going to be, for some unknown reason, they have this infatuation with choking the exhaust side of the engine. Yep. Every freaking time.
And then they managed to somehow always coke it up too. So I don't know why, but there's a lot of carbon buildup. And that could be because it's already choked up. It just chokes itself some more.
You go back to small block Fords, the big block Fords, any of those, the first thing you do is take the cylinder heads and throw them in the freaking garbage and put on something that'll breathe. And it's like driving in a completely different engine. Yep. And I do it with the Camry, you do the same thing, the mod motors. You open up the exhaust side, they start running. Where the small block Chevy, the LSs, and all those, that was already a free-flowing system.
Well, I think the worst thing Ford did was they went to that mod engine for the trucks. Because the thing about overhead cam engines is they make fantastic power, but you got to rev the dang things, right? So they don't have the low-end torque that the old push rod engines do. Now they can make torque, but you got to rev them up, right? So, and that's where I think the Rams and the Chevys, they have a little bit of an advantage at the lower end.
Well, I think that's why you're going to see this Godzilla coming out and going into a lot of trucks.
Yep.
The new 7.3, Is that what it is? 7.3.
Well, that'll be a torque monster. It'll be.
Oh yeah.
It'll right the wrong, hopefully.
I was been watching some dyno shots of it. Oh yeah. It's going to be a fun one if it doesn't cost a bloody fortune to get your hands on one.
Yeah.
16 grand, I think. Is that what it's
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, it's new yet still.
We'll see what it does. That could be very interesting for sure. Nice.
But that's what they should have done, like you said, in the get-go.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep the mod motor in the cars. I mean, even though it's kind of a tight fit, this engine would have worked great in all the platforms. It's actually what they should have done to begin with. But pushrod's not that bad.
No, they're not. I mean, they work well, and there's lots of stuff to refine. You got variable cams, you got variable intake runners, you got fuel management, solenoids, all sorts of stuff to make them a better, more efficient engine nowadays. And they work much, much better. I've always said you can take a big V8, tune it down, and get it to perform well and get good economical numbers out of it far easier than you can take a small engine to develop bigger power. Because guess what happens when you start towing a trailer with a small engine?
Well, right, yeah, it's actually going to get worse. You'll have the torque for they did that with the 460s and stuff. They're only 200 horse, but they're 400 some odd foot-pounds of torque.
Yep.
But again, somewhere along the line, they did their formulas wrong because the fuel mileage still sucked.
Yep.
I guarantee it's the exhaust flow is part of it.
Yeah, would also take into consideration, like, they can make some pretty impressive numbers out of a lot of these smaller engines nowadays, but what do you have to do that? Yeah, you got to turbocharge it or something like that. You forced induction, so now you get more moving parts. Number two is you got to rev the crap out of these things. So just basic physics is it's not going to last as long. You got your lazy old big blocks sitting there turning over at 3,000 RPM, no matter what they're doing. And then you got your newer modern engines screaming at 6,000 RPM to get the same power out of it.
They sound cool.
Why don't they sound interesting? They both sound cool. But you're still, the piston's traveling twice as much in that newer engine to do the same work. You're just going to wear it out faster. That's the simple.
And what's crazy, you're revving that thing like you're saying, and the damn skirts are this long?
Yeah.
How they don't tilt the board and blow a cylinder out is beyond me.
And that is one of the major flaws of the 6.4 Hemi. Is
short skirts.
Very, very short skirts, and the upper ring gland is very close to the top of the piston. So, yeah, you don't want to put too much. Well, you don't want to put a boost on those 6.4 Hemis. They're just not designed for it. Now, there's ways to get around it, but you got to take the engine apart to do it, right? Other than that 6.4 Hemi is a very impressive engine.
I know I had a 351 Windsor in one of my trucks. I drove it for years and years and years with about that much of the skirt busted off of it.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was gone. Worked just fine. It was in the oil pan. I didn't know. Never made any noise. I drove it for years like that.
It's just sitting around the bottom of the bin. It's fine. It's fine. It's not doing any damage.
Just kind of bang the pan on the oil change, make sure it's still bouncing around in there.
Yeah.
Not up to the crank or nothing.
Yeah, CP, that's like anything the government gets involved with. It becomes very complicated.
Yeah. They need to stay out of stuff.
Well, I'm not going to get too political. That's not my thing. But you talk to me in person, I'll get real political.
Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube, no. So
probably good for views, but no.
Yeah, it might get good views, but I'll probably get demonetized or banned. So
you're shadow banned. Can't find Mongrels posting videos anywhere.
No, I won't even get shadow banned. I'll be full out banned. Like it will be taken down. So I just stay away from it.
Yeah, CP, I can't wait for them to start putting shit tons of them in trucks so they can start wrecking them. I can go out there and harvest them Godzilla engines. They'll take a few years, but they'll be cheaper.
Yeah, it'll take a few, but
I got a 76 short wide that could use it.
Hey, Godzilla. JoJo.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but you look at, like, again, looking at the LSs and the Hemis, they're exactly what you said. For the longest time, you could not get a 6-liter.
Yep.
Because it was just crazy how much people wanted for them. Now you can just go to your pick and pull and, like, yeah, there's one.
Well, hell, watch YouTube video. You'll see half of them in the junkyard the next weekend.
Yep.
They're out there smashing them up, doing all these crazy racing stuff, and what's the dude doing loops in the middle of the freaking street, wrecking up your car? That's the new thing. That's just future engine swaps waiting to get into the junkyard.
For some reason, the ones you won't find those coyotes in there.
Well,
they're pretty hard to come across
they're
yet.
Still kind of new in a way because they didn't put them in a whole lot of stuff.
I think that's the bigger issue right there. They didn't put them in a lot of stuff. Whereas the Chevys and the Dodges were so mass produced.
Yep.
Well,
they were using the 5.4 and the 5.2. Yeah. Was that the other Raptor engine, the 5.2?
Yeah, but when was the Coyote? When did the Coyote come out? Was that 2009?
No, it was later than that. No, was it?
I don't think so.
It came out right around when the 6.2 came out, or right after the 6.2. They put the 6.2 in the Raptor, I think, only 1 year. If I remember. Jesus, I don't know.
It might have been 2010, but it was right around 2009, 2010 is when it came out.
So it's been, 10 years?
Yeah, it's been at least 10 years. So it's been around for a while.
I see them happening, but you're right. They're just so damn expensive. Yep. It's got to be because you can't get your hands on them. The junkyard here in town, it's a classic junkyard. He specializes in the old stuff, but he brings in new cars and guts the hearts, to sell for guys building old cars with modern drivetrains. And I've only seen him get 1 5-liter into his, 3 or 4 LS or Chrysler ones,
Okay, so this site says they were 2011 is when they came out.
Okay. That'd be about right.
That seems about right.
Time flies.
Still 10 years of productions. So, but you're right. They only put it in a few select vehicles, like some of the trucks and the Mustangs, and that's about all that was in. Whereas you look at the GMs, every truck had one.
Well, they're pushing their 6.2, I think, just to the very end. The 6.2 and the 5.4.
Yeah.
And yeah, CP. I saw a Ford Era. Jesus, I think the RPM of that wheels would send that thing just exploding. Tore up a beautiful. Oh, I cried when he blew the freaking sides off the bed of that thing. And that truck's from up here. That's what pissed me off. He bought it from a logger in Oregon, not far from here. Have you seen that truck, Mongrels?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, Ford Era
truck that blew off the bed.
Yes, I was. I don't remember what event. Remember what event that was at? CP. I can't remember what event it was. Anyways, he's doing a burnout competition, and he must have had an open rear end of the damn thing or something, or a really shitty posi. And every time he swung the truck one way or the other, it was only spinning one tire. It wouldn't light them both off. Of course, he's doing it with 33 freaking all-terrains.
Wow.
So
it lifted it right off the ground, eh?
Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
But that was a custom paint job on that truck. The guy he bought it from had that truck painted to match his 18-wheeler log truck. So the log truck had the same paint scheme as that pickup did when he bought it.
Frank, what's up, Frank?
Oh,
and yeah, beautiful truck. I mean, well preserved.
Well, it looks like it.
Oh yeah, just terrible. Hopefully he puts it back to the way it was. I mean,
So what year is that
everything's
thing? 77, 78?
77, I believe.
Yeah. Nice truck.
It was this one, right?
No, it wasn't
Ford
that one.
Hollyfest. Ford Hollyfest. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and went, oh man.
Ford
I
Hollyfest.
wouldn't have done that with that truck. That was dumb.
Yeah.
I would have done it with another truck like it, but not that one. It was a beautiful truck. Oh, all it needed was I think it had a roll bar in the back, but needed some KCs thrown up on it. It would have been perfect.
Wasn't it like a red orange truck, something like that?
No, it's brown, different shades of brown. They called it Snickers. I don't name my vehicles.
So,
it was a cool truck.
Good.
so here's the question for you guys. Money's not an object. What would be your truck of choice? In a half ton. In a half ton.
I'm going to have to. That's helping. Custom builder in stock form.
No, it can be custom built.
Half ton. God, that's hard. You know, I own like 15 trucks, right? Because I can't make up my mind. Because the bump sides have got some cool stuff. The dent sides are even nicer. But then you got some you get into the newer trucks and you got the rear opening door, and then there's so many features. Is there an 8? Give me a year stop. Like, don't go any newer than this.
Okay, don't go any newer than 80.
Easy. We'll go 70. Well, they're all about the same. We'll do a dent side super cab 4-wheel drive.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna have to do a short bed on it, so it's gonna be a custom chassis. I'll have to shorten the long bed up because I like my short beds. 4-inch lift, 460 overdrive.
Oh, Frank, that is a nice truck. I do like those.
Yeah. SRT 10 Dodge Viper single cab short bed. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
here
here's
used to
the
be.
one.
Yep.
This is one of my longest standing friends. I don't know who William Wonderdorf is.
Wandingerdorf.
Ooh, 76 Crew F250. Yeah, see, he said half ton, so I didn't go into the F250. But if I was to do a 3/4 ton, a Crew would be the way to go with the short box. And yeah, you're a Cummins guy, I know that. I think I'd 7.3 mine though, just cause.
William, you're a Ford guy. You got any vote on this?
Whoa. Okay, I haven't been paying attention. I just got out of the shower.
Look like you're smoking his dinner too, man. Jeez.
But I am no longer a Ford guy. I am a Jeep guy.
That's a hard stop switch.
I mean, the Jeep fits more fat chicks, bro.
What? You didn't get any more fat chicks in a Jeep than you are a crew cab. Fat chicks are your thing. Besides, you got to lift it so they can't jump, right?
No, it's not lifted. No, because when a fat chick gets in it, it just gets unlifted. So I figured that's a waste of $5,000. So now it's a low rider.
Bryce, you got your pick?
Well, I would go with the dent side. I think that's a good choice for sure. Yeah. I mean, ideally, I mean, any Ford truck. I mean, you're doing all right. You know. I know how much you love Ford trucks, Mongrel.
Well, I do like the Ford trucks, but it might surprise you as to what I would go for.
Okay.
I'm a little torn because I really like the 68, 67 or 67, 68 Chevys. Those are just awesome trucks.
Yeah. I could see that.
I might actually go for like a 55 Mercury.
55 Merc. Yeah, but you said Ford though. You said Ford.
Yeah, I didn't say
Hold
Ford.
on, Bryce. That is a truck in Canada.
Okay.
Yep. Right?
Seriously?
Right, Mongrels?
Yep. Mercury trucks.
Let me look at this. Let me look at this.
I didn't know that either.
Lower her down, murder it out. But it's just a bad looking truck, man.
Bryce, it's the same thing as a Ford, except it says Mercury on it. That's the only difference.
The wheel's a little bit different.
We got a few
on there.
Are they really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We got being close to Canada, we got a few guys running around here with Mercury trucks on this side of the border. Yep.
I'd have to change out the grill. That's the only thing. I don't like the grill as much, but
what year did you say?
Wow.
Around a 55, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd want to put a 56 grill in it probably. That'd be the one to put in it.
Probably 56.
Yep.
I learned something. I didn't even know that existed.
Yes, sir.
The 70, the late 60 Mercs were nice trucks too.
That's crazy.
I like it. I like
it's
it.
pretty
That
cool. Super unique too. But that's only Canadian? You can only get that out there?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they had Mercury trucks down in the States.
Well, they're what guys are doing is they're dragging the parts across the border. We never had Mercury trucks, but they'll bring like Washington. We got a whole bunch of them running around Washington. They're just dragging the parts down from Canada.
Yeah,
but he says he's obsessed with the 73 100 short box.
That's a nice truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buck and Billy, he's over there in BC. He's got a couple of really nice trucks too. That's right. I was mentioning him.
I like some of the 30s trucks too, though. Those, like, they are sweet. They're not really practical as a truck, though. That's why I kind of ruled them out, because they're...
Were they still Mercuries in Canada? In the 30s?
I don't know. Honestly, I think so.
I don't remember when they made the switch. I know the 50s was. The 40s I thought were too, right? But before that, I don't know.
You could get the Mercury truck back then.
Was it a Mercury in Canada?
Yeah, I think we had both. You could get a Ford or a Mercury.
See, I don't remember when we stopped having Mercury trucks in the States. Or if we even had them. I don't think we ever had them.
CP, yeah. You have any great coupon?
William, what are you drinking over there?
Not my typical drink, but it's a Michelob Ultra. My neighbor likes it, so I carry some for him. I'm a nice guy.
Wait, you said you carry it for your neighbor?
Yeah.
But you're drinking it?
It's all I have left. I drank through all mine.
It's like, what are you giving her? You drinking it?
My beer is practically the same thing it's Bud Light. So, because I'm cheap. Because I have a Jeep payment. It's not cheap.
That's why you need a 74 Ford F-250. Then you don't have a payment.
Well, no, hold on now. Let's not discount this Jeep. Let's talk about your Jeep a little bit. What year is it?
Let's see this Jeep. Where's this Jeep at?
It's out in the driveway, man. It's dark. I'm in Texas. It's dark as hell out here right now.
Oh, it just got dark. What are you talking about?
It's almost 1 o'clock here. It's a 21 Rubicon.
It's a black. Rubicon, okay.
Black. You can't even see it.
What year?
Black. It's 21.
It says 21. Oh, okay. Okay, nice. 3.6.
It's got urban camouflage.
No, it's the little 4-cylinder with turbo.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've got to run that premium in it right now. It's killing me. Oh, yep, that's it.
Nah, I'm pretty sure your premium costs as much as our freaking regular does.
Probably.
That's a pretty sick Jeep, though.
It's all right.
Well, you know the new ones, you can get a Hemi in them.
I know. I kind of want the diesel, though.
Is it still a 3-liter diesel that they put in those?
I believe so, yeah. I think. Oh, no, I'm on like my 7th or 8th beer right now. I don't even know Bryce's name.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, CP. That any trucks, I mean, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, all the way up. I think the 60s through into the 80s was like the best year for trucks. For all of them.
Yeah.
Everyone had a great truck.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah.
And then, of course, you had Dodge. I think they had like 15 different variations of a half-ton truck going through those times.
You know what? I can't believe I forgot about that.
Warlock, Explorer.
I'm changing my answer.
Uh-oh.
I would take a Little Red Express.
Yeah? That was still a small block truck, though.
Yeah, but that's okay. They're pretty awesome trucks, man. That or a Warlock, either
I
one.
was going to say the Warlock's the one I would choose.
Yeah.
Those were 440 trucks, right? I think. Pretty sure.
You could get them. I thought you could get the Express with a big block in it at one point. You gotta think about that. I don't know. I'm not all up to speed on them. The Warlocks for sure. You could get a big block in those things.
There was a couple other special trucks too, right?
Yeah.
I know. I think there was 4 of them, 4 different ones.
Okay. So now,
I think.
let's have another conversation. Are Rancheros, El Caminos, Rampages, trucker cars?
Roofless station wagon.
Roofless station wagon. Okay.
I own 2.
I like that. I like it.
That's what it is. If you look at an El Camino and a Ranchero, they basically just peeled the fucking roof off. They finished the floor off. It looks just like a wagon with the roof gone. There's nothing different about it. It's the same. Everything about it's the same.
I always thought of them as cars, but I'm going with the roofless station wagon.
That's what it is.
I like it.
So it's still a car though.
I should have voted for you more tonight.
I'm really smarter than I look. and my looks can fool you. I'm not that smart. No, that was always the debate because I had truck plates on my Ranchero for years, and people would scoff at me and go, "That's not a truck." You're right, it's not. It's a roofless station wagon, but they gave me truck plates anyways. I could park in the loading zone. But yeah, it's 100% a station wagon. Chevelle station wagon for a El Camino. That's what it is.
Huh.
The Rampage. What was the Rampage built off of? I'm trying to remember. Help me out here, Mongrels. What was the car the Rampage was built off of?
Well, that's an easy one. It was built on a pile of crap.
Was it the Daytona or something? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was built off of the K-car platform. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
totally.
I didn't say it was any good. I just wanted to know what it was. Those were difficult times for Dodge in those years.
Yeah, I think we're all.
No wonder why they were going out of business. Motorhomes and shitty K cars. It had nothing to do with them going under.
No. Well, the minivan saved their butts, though.
Yes, it did.
And let's face it, those things weren't exactly stellar vehicles, but when they first came up.
Well, they were junk, too.
They were junk, but
they were eating valve guides.
Yeah, the K car saved them too. So the minivan and the K car is what saved Chrysler.
Motorhome sure didn't.
No.
That was a bad contract. Really bad.
But you know what? As much as I hate to say it, there was some good that evolved out of it eventually. And it really got them kind of leaning back towards the performance. And as much as I hate to say this, those Shelby Daytonas were actually pretty decent cars.
Somebody record that real quick.
For the time, well, comparing what else was around.
No, you're right. You look at somebody. Well, okay, I'm going to throw a real good one out there to you. How about that Omni that was turbocharged?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Piece of shit car, but I guarantee it was a barrel of fun till you wrecked it. I mean,
oh yeah.
for its time. Because I wouldn't be caught dead or alive in an Omni for any other reason. They were good power steering rack donor cars, and that was it.
Put my pirate face up. I think we've lost Bryce. We've lost him now.
Oh no, I love it. It's just my inner ADD-ness running everyone's direction.
Okay, I did.
I've actually learned more from this live than most lives.
Going back to your K car, I wanted to bring out this other note too, that you can take a K car and run it off of a loading dock, land it, and still drive. It's been done, verified.
Oh yeah, SCP, it was. That 2.2 turbo was actually pretty spicy in the day. I mean, everyone was kind of experimenting with stuff like that. You had the Mustang also had a turbocharged engine.
Small
four-cylinder.
85s.
The SBO. Yeah.
Yeah, 84, 85, something like that.
And then you had GM.
I have stories for that one too.
Yeah, then you had GM who couldn't figure out to put a turbo on anything back then. They just put a four-cylinder in a Camaro and called it good, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
Well, they're trying to help mileage out. A buddy of mine I went to high school with had one of those SVO cars, and of course back then, this was in the mid '90s, they were junk. No one wanted them. They weren't worth anything.
Yep.
So we, he tied the wastegate shut to see what it would do. Let me tell you, the old 2.3 liter can take some serious fucking abuse before it finally lets go.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it was a riff roarer with that wastegate tied shut. That was that poor four-cylinder though. It wasn't long. He raced it. He actually took it out on the SCCA course like that, and beat the hell out of it. And then turned around and built another one. But no, that was impressive. It was.
Well,
I'm surprised that didn't catch on.
They were very impressive cars, actually. And I mean, you kind of see it have a resurgence nowadays in the Mustang and the Camaro and the Cadillacs. They all have 2-liter something turbocharged engine versions, right? And they actually go pretty darn good, honestly.
You don't have to tie the gate shut to get it to go.
No. Like that Cadillac I'm working on, that ATS, I drove one as a rental one time, and it's like, wow, what is under the hood of this thing? I popped the hood. I'm like, no, come on now. I can't. No. How is that 4 cylinders? Like, I just couldn't believe that the car had that much performance off of 4 cylinders. And and you'd never notice the turbo lag in it.
What the hell was it I was in? I was in the service at the time. One of these new guys showed up. He had one of those VVT freaking Hondas. Variable valve timing cars.
Yeah.
And he was trying to learn how to do burnouts or quick starts or something. I says, move the hell over, and I got it behind the wheel to see if I could make it perform. And I've never driven one of those before. talk about a spicy 4-cylinder. That variable valve timing bastard, that was pretty fast for what it was. And I'm not into the European or the Japanese shit at all. I was pretty impressed. It was a 98, was it Prelude? What the fuck was that thing? A 2-seater. Huh?
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
Oh, was it the Soul?
No.
The Prelude.
No, it had to have been a 4-seater. I'm trying to remember what
I know the car you're talking about. I think they had a target top on them, right? The Honda. I know the exact car you were talking about. It's just a little 2-seater car.
Yeah, it was nothing. But I tell you, it's shit to get. I was pretty impressed. Of course, so was he, because I actually got the thing to hook and go.
Yeah.
I'd like to take back one of my votes for Ollie this evening. We driving a Honda.
I hate giving him credit, but I had to. It was pretty impressive. I hate it. I had to go take a bath after that, burn my clothes and shit. But
burn my clothes.
I never drove it again.
What happened? Oh, these mongrels kicked your butt today, huh?
You know the irony? When I drove that Honda, I was driving a 78 Mustang 2 Cobra. So, you can hate some more on that, I guess. And it wasn't even a V8 Cobra, it was a V6 4-speed Cobra. So. Weird times. I was young. Weird times.
Well, that's what I thought it was. CP was the Del Sol.
No, I don't. I could look. I don't remember. That was 20 some odd years ago, man. I can't. My mind's not that good anymore. I just remember him, and he couldn't drive it to save his ass, and I pushed him over. I says, "Let me drive it," and I got the thing to rip tires and freaking take off like a rocket. But it was just weird how it felt because of the variable timing in the cams. I think it was in a freaking Honda Prelude. It was a 2-door. Well, it might have had back seats. Let me see if I can find it.
That's right around when they released the NSX and stuff too, and they were really coming up with some pretty interesting engines for those Hondas back then.
Pretty sure it was a 2-door Prelude. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm looking at a picture of one. It was a Type something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Type whatever. Type BS.
Well, Type R. What do they call it? Type R? Or?
Maybe it was Type R. Yeah. It was it was all black. It was kind of a cool car for what I'm here. See, I'm gonna get in trouble again.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, a Prelude is a cool car. Come on, man.
That's more votes gone for you. Let's go.
I'm losing votes by the second. Respect gone. Channel unsubscribed. Fucking my subscriber count just dropped to the floor. Ollie's import channel is now what everyone's calling me. Done.
Okay, here's a question. So which car had the most transformation throughout its run?
One model?
What model of car?
The Mustang went from awesome to electric.
Uh-oh.
And we're talking, oh no, there's a car and we're talking about the big three here. So Chevy, Ford, and Dodge. Which one went through the most transformations in its lifespan?
Well, Dodge, because they came out with that monstrosity, that speaker vehicle.
You're saying the Dodge Charger?
Yeah, because they had the awesome Chargers, and then now they're making Chargers with little speakers on them, little Bluetooth speakers that make engine noises.
Ouch.
I don't even think they make engine noises. I think they make like kitty noises. Meow.
It doesn't even sound like an engine.
Dodge 300, Frank says.
Dodge 300? Okay, what do you say, Ollie?
Oh, God.
CP says the Malibu.
Malibu? Yeah, the Malibu's got some, I'd say it had some changes throughout its lifespan. But I'm going to actually agree with actually, I'll let William go and Ollie go first.
Go ahead, William.
Is it? Oh, okay. You're up, William.
Pure opinion, right?
No, I passed. I'd like to.
You're passing? Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna say the Ford Mustang. That's what I'm gonna say, just because the length of time and all the different variations it's been through.
Okay.
And the fact they made that horrible electric version.
And on this one, I'm 100% agreeing with Bryce. I agree with you completely. It was the Dodge Charger.
Really?
Well, okay, so what did the Charger start out as? A big rear-wheel drive muscle car, right?
True.
And then what did it become after that? Kind of the bloated family car, or two-door family car, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep, I forgot. Late 70s.
But then what did it come after that?
Four-door midsize, right?
Went two-door, then
front wheel drive.
Oh, the Lee Iacocca years.
Yeah.
Right.
So then it became
the Charger drive. You don't want to be caught in.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's right.
And
then the Dodge Omni Charger.
Then it became the four-door, like what I have. Then
right.
It came back. It became the four-door.
I call it the midsize.
And now it's an electric.
Ugh.
We're coming up, right? So I'm going to have to agree with Bryce on this one.
Yeah, you go with the door situation. You're right. The Mustang's always been a two-door.
And Mustang's always been rear-wheel drive.
Yep. See, I should have said Taurus or something. I don't know.
Taurus?
No, Taurus.
CP did mention the Malibu, which...
The Malibu wouldn't have been a bad one either.
Malibu's a good pick, too, because it kind of did all that stuff, too. It went front-wheel drive. It went four-door. As far as I know, we don't have an electric one yet, but I'm sure that's coming.
It went front-wheel drive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it did go front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So one thing that we were talking about earlier, to your point, Mongrels, which I thought was kind of interesting. Look at how much the size of trucks has changed over the years.
Oh, crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, my 74 Ford F-250 used to be a big truck, and now it's like smaller than a single cab, you know? It's really not that big.
Your truck is like what a Ranger is nowadays.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
It's like what the small trucks are.
Right.
And
Jeeps haven't really changed that much.
See, now that was the next question. Which vehicle has changed the least? And I'm going with totally the traditional Jeep. Yeah. That thing has stayed the same concept throughout the years.
It really hasn't changed that much at all.
I mean, why would you mess with perfection?
There you go.
Well, I actually like Jeeps. I would not mind owning a Jeep, honestly.
You know what? A lot of guys, they dream of owning Lamborghini. Dude, the Jeep's my dream car. I love it.
Convertible.
I have absolutely no use for one though, personally. I like them, but I don't know the practicality of one.
I'd just kill myself in one. I don't want one. I'll fuck myself all up in a Jeep. I just know it.
Yeah, if you're into off-roading and stuff, well, that is a great off-road vehicle. But
that's what I mean. I'll do stupid shit and kill myself.
Yeah, because I can't tow a big trailer with it. Doesn't get great fuel economy. No. They're not particularly fast.
Right.
You can't.
There's not that much room in
You can get your family in there, but you're not getting a whole lot of luggage and everything else. So I just have no practical use for one. And that's why I own both a car and a truck. Because when I tow the trailer, I want the truck. When I just commute back and forth, I want the car.
I can fit about 12 to 1,300 pounds worth of fat shit.
He scale weighted this. Hang on, hun. We're stopping by the Loves real quick. Got some stats I gotta catch up on.
You sound like you've tested this, William.
Hey, when you guys asked me to answer that question earlier, you guys were saying, William, go ahead. And I'm like, who the heck is William?
Hey, you put the name on there.
Then I realized the camera was on me. So I was like, oh, I don't know what the question is.
No, you're William until you're not.
Yeah. But hey, and I just hopped on here to say a quick hi. It is 1:05 here in Texas. I got to go to bed. I've got a haircut super early in the morning. So,
well, I think that's a great segue for me too, because Ole's told me he didn't want to go for 4 hours, and he's at 3 hours and 15 minutes. So,
see what you're a bad influence, Bryce. Bad influence.
hey, at least I let you off the hook this time because the game show part ended, so you were good.
yeah, hey, you came in second place, right, Ollie?
Yeah, I did.
How's it feel to be first loser?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not last loser though.
Next time. Yeah, you were. You guys did good.
Boy.
You guys were cracking me up with your answers.
Well, I just got over the freaking head flu, so I'm kind of like, I gotta get a couple beers in me going, and I'm probably a little funnier.
Okay, so what we've determined is he is a race car driver, because you are making the excuses already, man. Like,
me? Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I saw that I was bombing this one right off the bat when there wasn't any more questions. Once there's no Ford questions, I'm like, oh, I'm done here.
I think there's a rematch in order.
So you do remember the last one was kind of heavily slanted to one brand?
Yeah. maybe that's what's happened. See, Mongrels knew. He's like, put some more Mopar stuff in there, some other stuff, Pontiac.
Well, Mopar Nut wasn't here tonight. I wanted to see him lose his shit on not having any Mopar questions.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you had that Ram truck in there, so.
I actually had a couple other slides, but it's crazy how few slides we get through in an hour. I mean, there's only 9. It's really not that much,
Well, when you're going back to the chat and recounting 3 times.
Well, CP, that's just my avatar. I've got a friend that he has a pirate party every year, so we go dress up as a pirate just to entertain him, and that's how I was dressed up for most of the day. So I just use that as my avatar picture.
He's dressed up to steal your booty.
That's right.
The jokes get shittier the longer the night goes.
Yeah.
Well, let's unless you guys want to hang out, let's shut it down and.
I probably should call it quits while I'm ahead.
Oh, I enjoy the hanging out, but yeah, it's time to get to bed. Got to get something done tomorrow.
Thank you guys. That was awesome. I really enjoyed all of it, so it was cool.
Another successful one.
Have a good one, everyone.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Later, gentlemen.
Boom, baby.
Look at that.